I think we can start. Okay, thanks everyone. Thanks for joining this session. My name is Chen Yu. I think we already have the briefing about who I am and what I'm doing. Actually, so I understand. So today's session is the masterclass for CSMA. But actually, what I want to do is I want to extend for a little bit. I also want to talk about some basic understanding about security or some basic concept about security. Okay, so then we will look like talking about the what exactly included in the CSMA. So I understand everyone who joined this session has been in the security market, has been in the security domain for multiple years, and I believe you have rich experience about security. But security is something complex. But so everyone might have different understanding about security. So I just want to show my opinion. So how I looking into the security domain. So to be honest, what I can say is there is never 100% security. I know it sounds sad, but this is true. There are no 100 security. So when we're talking about security, what we are doing is we always looking into a balance between secure, efficiency, and cost. So why I say this is because for any organization, I mean any organization, it does not regarding if this is a financial or this is government or any other different vertical, but for every organization, business is always the first priority. This is true. So security are not able, so should not impact the business. So that's why what I mean is, so security is always a balance between secure, efficiency, and cost. So if you cannot imagine like that, okay, so when I need to download or upload, or I want to transfer a single file to one of my colleagues or any other department, I need to do like 5-10 times about security check. So this will impact and lower down the efficiency a lot and will impact the business. So I don't think this is acceptable, right? And the second thing on the cost. So on the cost, so it depends on what's the current situation or current level of your security rate. So for example, if you want to improve your security rate from maybe medium to like from low to medium, it might be cheap. So I will just take an example. So currently your security rate is around like 60%, and you want to improve your security rate from like 60% to 8%. It might be cheap. It might be cheap and affordable. But if you want to improve, if you want to improve your security rate from 8% to like 80% to like 90%, it might be equal to the same cost from 60% to 80% and even more expensive. And if you want to improve your security rate from like 91% to like 92%, it may take like 10 times of cost. And I don't think any like normal or general organization can like improve the security rate from like 95 to 96. It will be super expensive. So I have been working on multiple different product, like because according to introduce, you may know I worked on network security first. Then I look into cloud security. I also look into like DevSecOps and the Kubernetes part. It's the same, exactly same. And the more dedicated solution or dedicated point you want to look into, the more cost you will have. So this is the situation. So we must first have this like basic concept in mind. Security is a balance. We are not able to only looking for the 100% security. So what we can see is the security is complex, like between the security rate and performance and cost. So in security, what we can see is security is always on the way of improvement. So that's why we can see a lot of like different framework, a lot of different technology are coming every year. Okay. And also another thing I want to highlight in the security domain is because security is something from top down. It's from top down. So when we look into some particular detailed solution, we might have the framework on top. The reason is because security is very complex and detailed. So before we like starting to do this security design, we should have some plan on top. Then we always know what will be the next step after we finish this. So that's why. Okay, so if we're looking into this security domain, one like challenge from, because I working with multiple different customers. So I just want to show my experience when I talk with my customer. So one of the top pain point they given to me is, okay, they're looking into multiple different solutions, but what they can see is one single security solution can only resolve a single pain point. Like for example, your EDR is only working for your endpoint, like your firewall is only working for your network security. And if you want to go into some maybe code scanning like SAST, this is only for code security. So a single security solution is only for to resolve a single point. And usually they are not talking to each other and need some manually, actually not some, it's a lot of manual work to integrate them together. So this is the truth. What we have right now. Oh, I understand some like large organization might have the plan form. Yeah, because I'm working for Palo before, and now I'm working for Checkpoint. So some large security vendor should have the plan form so they can integrate everything together. But another truth is every single vendor, regardless of it's big or small, because I working for Palo before and I also working for Aqua. So Palo is a very big organization and Aqua actually is a very small one. But every single vendor will have his strong domain. So no single vendor will be strong on every single domain. I take an example. So some vendor might be very good on firewall. Some vendor might be very good on the code scanning. Some vendor have rich intelligence in the IOC related to IP reputation. And some others may have like additional information regarding to URL reputation. So every single vendor will have a different strong domain. Okay. So if you want to rely on a single vendor, you will be a problem. It will be a problem. There are two reasons. The first reason is every single vendor has a strong domain. So if you are using a single vendor, you might not able to cover every single technology in your organization. Another thing is I also don't think any customer would like to be locked by a single vendor. This is another issue which I talk with my customer. So they don't want to be locked by a single vendor. Otherwise, they will not have choice. For example, they already do some very lot of integration with a single vendor. When they want to move into another vendor or they want to looking for another particular solutions, they are falling into problem. Okay, so this is the truth and the pain point which I can see from my customer. So that is also the reason why CSMA is coming to this market. So if we look into CSMA, so CSMA is regarding to the Cybersecurity Mesh Architecture. So for this architecture, actually, if you ask me, use one word or two words to summary what the exactly meaning about the CSMA. So what I can say is there are two very important keywords for this CSMA. First is consolidate. The second one is open. Okay, so CSMA is not something new. CSMA has been raised by Gartner, and if I remember correct, it's already been in this market for at least 4 years. 4 years at least. So actually, the purpose for this architecture is to build an open and consolidated platform. Okay, so all the vendors' solution can working together because one single vendor are not able to adapt to every single customer environment. So we have to have an open and a consolidated framework on top. Then we can integrate different vendor solutions together, and we can make them different and build your own platform for your organization. So this is the purpose for this architecture. So if we look into this architecture, actually there are four very important components. The first one is the consolidated dashboard. Second is consolidated policy management. Third one is a consolidated security analysis and intelligence, and it will have the identity fabric across the other three components. So this is the four components about the CSMA. So to make things easier, so I just want to show my experience. So if I am the chief security architecture of one organization, so I want to build a secure architecture for my organization. According to the CSMA architecture, what will I do and what will I considering? Okay, this is something I want to share. So I I don't know, maybe everyone have different suggestions. So I do have a priority in my considering when we're looking into the security architecture. So the first thing, when I start to build the secure architecture, the first thing I want to considering is the connectivity. So connectivity is the first thing we need to do on the security. Why? It's because I mentioned before, for every organization, business is always the first priority, and connectivity is very, very related to your business because you have multiple different branches. You have data center, you have maybe local office. So if you're not able to connect them together, you're not able to continue business. So connectivity is for business. So how to build a secure connectivity is the first thing we need to considering when we look into the architecture level. So for the connectivity, actually, we have a lot of different options in the market. For example, we have like lease line, right? We have lease line. We have VPN, like IPsec VPN. Maybe we use WireGuard VPN, so different VPN technology. We also have like SD-WAN. So we have different options. But if you ask me, what is a better solution if we considering connectivity? I think if you balance for the cost and efficiency and secure, I think I will recommend like SASE will be a better one. I know lease line may have better performance, but it's very expensive. VPN is cheap, but if you look into the maintenance cost or maybe like for the extension, for the scalability, VPN might be not very good to considering. So SASE is a better solution if we considering about the connectivity. But if we considering the SASE connectivity based on the CSMA architecture, I think we need to have two more additional considering when we look into SASE. So the first thing I think we need to look into is are these SASE platform are able to be managed with the other connectivity technology? For example, you have other like security solutions, or you have other devices to also resolve this connectivity. For example, like firewall. On firewall, you have your policy management, and on SASE, you also have the policy management. So does these two security management are able to be managed together? Yeah, this is something we need to considering. Are we able to consolidate the management for the connectivity? This is the first thing. Another thing we need to considering according to the CSMA architecture is the open. How open the solution is. So for example, for your different branch for data center, you might use different edge device. You might use Palo, you might use Forti, you might use like Juniper or so forth, or other different edge device. So does this kind of edge device able to integrate with the SASE together? This is something, another thing you need to consider. Why? It's because CSMA, remember the two keywords, consolidate and open. Okay, so when we're considering, when we look into some SASE solutions, I think this is two additional things we need to consider. Is this open enough? And is this consolidated enough? Okay, so this is on the connectivity part. And after connectivity, the second thing we need to consider about the security architecture, I think, is the identity. Okay, because connectivity is give you the access, but identity will control the access. Who can access what kind of resources? So this is identity. So based on my understanding, every different customer may have different IDP in their organization. You might use entry ID, you might use like Okata, like Reduce or some other IDPs in your organization. But how you integrate this kind of all your IDPs to different security or maybe applications. This is a problem. For example, one of my customer, they have entry ID integrate with some of the firewall and the SASE, and they have another IDP integration with endpoint. So this might cause some problem because you need to do some like manual work in the backend to sync different IDP. So for identity fabric, when we should consider identity fabric is an independent module. So all different IDP can be integrated together and can given like an interface and can be shared and consumed by different security solutions and the different vendors. So this is for the identity security. And the third thing we need to consider is the threat prevention. So if you're looking into threat prevention, for different vendor, I think the difference is more on like how many signatures you have, how many like intelligence you have. Okay, but as I mentioned, every vendor will have different security domain. Like, for example, I'm working with some other different like intelligence vendors. So someone is really very good on the IP reputation. They have a lot of like malicious IP source, and some others have better on the URL. And some difference have better resources on the file hash. And some like intelligence, like GTI vendors have better information on particular vertical, particular industry. So when we're looking into this threat prevention, according to the CSMA architecture, we should also build an open architecture. So we should have like something we call like threat hub. You can give another name, but in my mind, I will call it a threat hub. So in this threat hub, it should be able to connect with different IOC vendor, different intelligence vendor together, and give a single and uniform output. Okay, to different solutions, to different other security solutions. Yeah, I will show the demo to exactly show what I'm meaning about this. And the last thing, which we are considering about the security is the security operation. Because after you finish your architecture, the last thing you need to do is the operation. Because if you not operate the architecture well, it will be very hard for this architecture to working for you. So how we make the security operation better? If you look into this security CSMA architecture, so same. Can this security operation system be a consolidated one to manage all my solutions? And is this open enough to integrate with different vendors? Okay, so this is four different angle and two keywords. This is how I thinking about to build a security architecture based on CSMA. Four different angle, I just want to repeat again, is connectivity, identity, threat prevention, and SOC. And two most important keywords regarding CSMA is open and consolidate. Okay, so this is the whole picture in my mind. Then I will show a little bit of demo to show you how what I exactly mean about this. So since actually I'm working in Checkpoint right now, so I will just use Checkpoint platform to show the demo. Give me 1 minute. I will open my demo environment. Yeah, you have any questions, feel free to drop in your questions in the Teams channel, or you can also raise your hand to interrupt me anytime, okay? Let me show my screen again.
So while you bring this up, Chen, the demo, I had a question on how does this threat prevention adapt to detect and stop advanced attacks when your data, identities, and workloads are spread across multiple cloud environments and on-prem environments? Chen, do you want me to repeat the question? I have it.
Chen,
on
you will take this, or you
well.
want me to take it?
Yeah, let me show my screen again. Sorry, can you repeat?
No, there was a question, Chen. So that's the reason I'm asking. You will take it.
Which question in the Teams channel?
No. Arindam asked one question.
Yeah, so I have it on Teams as well. Chen, if you want to read it and respond.
Oh yeah, let me check. Give me.
So meanwhile, Chen is checking. I'll just help him out to give a quick understanding, Arindam, on that.
Yes,
so this is this side. Yeah. So basically, we have a threat cloud. What exactly we do over here is that any part of, let's say, a zero-day attack has been identified in any region. We create a threat kind of a signature out of it, and we provide it to each and every solution which we are having it. So all the solutions, whatever we are offering, it will be having a brain through our threat cloud AI. Chen, you can top it up on top of that if you want.
Yes, so it's regardless of its multi-cloud or different environment. So what we want to do based on the CSMA is we want to build every threat prevention hub. So this threat prevention hub can consolidate different source together and can be consumed by different security solutions. For example, you can consolidate like Palo Intelligence. You can consolidate with Checkpoint Intelligence, maybe other like Recall Future Intelligence. You can consolidate them together. Then you will have a uniform output interface. Then this interface can be like, for example, if you're using some other firewall vendors. So on these firewall vendors, this firewall can be deployed in your cloud. This firewall can be deployed in your on-prem data center. So you can use this single interface, unified IOC interface, integrate with your firewall. So then all the IOC information can be shared with all your like on-prem or cloud firewall, and can be shared the same way with your endpoint. So we need to build a open and consolidated hub together. So I just show you in the demo. So first, I want to share is from the connectivity. So from connectivity, I think I mentioned about a better solution for us is for the SASE. Okay. So but when we build a SASE solution, what I want to see is two things we need to consider. One is the open. Is this open enough? So when we're looking into the SASE integration, we are trying to avoid some private protocol. For example, especially from the integration from your edge device with your SASE port. So maybe you can choose some WildGuard VPN or IPsec VPN. This might be a better solution because this is open. It's open source. Every vendor will support this. Okay, so this is the first thing we need to look into in SASE, considering the connectivity. Is this open enough? So IPsec is a better solution for this because it's a standard protocol. Second thing, for management. So if you're looking into this, yeah, this is just show in Checkpoint as an example. I believe some other vendor might have, might not don't have, but it doesn't matter. So I just want to show you from Checkpoint how we do this. So in Checkpoint, because in your SASE, you also manage the access. For example, from one of your branch, are you able to go into one of your pop site? You might have some policy, right, to control the access. And from the edge device, you also have some security policy. So these kind of policies can be managed together. This is what Checkpoint considering. So what we do is in Checkpoint, we can manage the SASE policy and file policy in a single management. So this is when we're talking about the consolidated, okay, on the connectivity. Then we look into the identity. 1 minute.
There is a question in the chat, Chen, from Abhijit.
Yeah, let me check. Okay, CSMA, CSMA to a data lake, data warehouse, which actor and orchestrator and then unified management console for multiple security. Correct. Correct. I think this is my understanding about CSMA. So CSMA must be customized, open and consolidated platform built by customer itself. So all these security solution can be integration with this single platform. So then this platform can adapt to different customer because different customer will have different internal process, different situations. So they can build their own platform, not rely on a single vendor platform. I think this is very, very key about what CSMA was offering. Okay. So regarding the identity, if you're looking into my demo, so how we do this in Checkpoint is in Checkpoint, we have our Infinity identity. So in the Infinity identity, you are able to integrate with different IDP in the backend. So this kind of IDP can be your entry ID, can be your Okta or other different the source. Then after this, you will have a unified output. Then this output can be integrated with your firewall or your endpoint. So this endpoint or firewall can be other vendor. I just show you in Checkpoint how Checkpoint integrate. After you have this single source about identity, if you go into your firewall, you can see from here. So I already have all the IDP together. Then in this firewall, I can use is a identity awareness firewall, regardless of how many IDP I have. Okay, so yeah, this can be done. If you are looking into some other like vendors, you can look into same if they have the same functions. But I think this is a better way. So you have a hub, you have an identity hub. Then this identity hub will give a single unified interface to all your different solutions. Give you an endpoint and give it to a firewall, and will also give it to a SASE. Everything will be the same. Okay. The third thing which we are talking about is in the threat prevention. So in Checkpoint, what we are doing here is We also have a threat hub. Okay, so you can see from here, in this threat prevention, IOC, from the IOC, you might have different IOC source. You might have like this is from Google mandate. This is from the other open source IOC vendor. You might have some different vendor. So this is from Checkpoint itself. So you will have the integration with different IOC source. After this, you have a single output. You can build a single output. Then this single output can integration with the other solutions, like integration with your Fortinet firewall, integration with your if you have Curator or some other endpoint. So integrate together. So collect the information together and share with every single other solutions. This is the principle about the CSMA. Okay, and the last thing I want to share is on the operation side. So in the operation side, I think everyone is talking about AI today. So I just want to share something which also we are doing on the AI. It's going to. So what I'm doing here is I just use the MCP server to integrate with checkpoint management server and to manage checkpoint firewall. Okay, but this MCP server is an open source. So you can feel free to integrate with some other solutions if you want. You can change some code for this MCP server. So, but in my demo, what I'm doing here is I have a client. So this can be some chat client. I'm using cloud in this demo. Then I have my MCP server in middle, and I integrate with the checkpoint management server and to manage my firewalls deployed in Azure. So what I can do is I can just ask any questions from an open source or from a free chatbot. Like for example, this can be like ChatGPT or some other chat. Okay. So you can see from here what I have first. Yeah, I just recording demo because I just want to make things smooth. So this is what I have. I have my management server. I have a firewall deployed in Azure. So this is my management server. Okay, this is my management. I have some policy here. Then I just open cloud in my desktop. And this has been integrated with the MCP server. So what I can do right now is I can just ask some questions regarding to my firewall from my chatbot. So I asked the management server, are you still be able to manage my checkpoint firewall? It will connect to the MCP server until you watch the current status. So I have access to checkpoint management server. Okay. What I can do is I can show you the access rule. I can check the service. I can see, I can help you do some operation work. Okay. Then I can ask, so how many gateways do I have in my environment and what's the limitation I have? So you can see this is what I have. This is my management server, connect to my MCP, and this is my gateway.
There's a question again, Chen, from Abhijit.
Yes. Okay, let me check. Give me time. Let me check the question first. How should I view CSMA versus SOAR? Okay, so CSMA and SOAR is very different. So CSMA is on the architecture level. In the meanwhile, SOAR is based on your process level. Okay, for example, for SOAR, SOAR, right? So SOAR is a process. So it will be trigger, something will trigger another action. This is SOAR, automatically. Of course, it's automatically. So this is SOAR. But CSMA is an architecture. So this architecture is to build a uniform and open platform. It's quite different. CSMA is on architecture level. In the meanwhile, SOAR is on process level, operation process level. These are two different things. Okay. Yeah, let's back to the MCP demo again. So I can do many more things. Use this MCP server. I can also request if you can help me to see if I have any duplicate policies, if I have any duplicate object. So if some particular IP are able to is allowed or not based on my current configuration. So you can just use your own like client. You can use GPT, you can cloud or other client or DeepSeek. You just ask like some questions. This is an open architecture. Okay, this is also based on CSMA to build a consolidated and open architecture for your operation. Okay, if you want, I can show you the recording after the meeting. Okay, I think this is pretty much I want to share based on my understanding about what CSMA is, and I just use Checkpoint demo to show you how Checkpoint to do regarding the CSMA architecture. Okay, if you have any other questions, feel free to drop your questions in the Teams window. Practically complement or accelerate a zero trust journey. Okay. So per my understanding, how CSMA accelerate zero trust, I think is it can build a consolidated solution. For example, because if you're looking into zero trust, it's actually two important things. One is access and another one is identity. These are two most important things in zero trust, right? But if you are follow on the CSMA architecture, it's easier for you to build your own identity fabric. Because before the CSMA, how you integrate is you might integrate some different IDP or different identity source with different solution. But with CSMA architecture, you will have an independent identity fabric. And this identity fabric can be shared with different solutions. Then it's easier for you to build this we call zero trust architecture. So remember the two most important keywords for CSMA: open and consolidate. Another thing, I can see you have given access to cloud to access your security device. Yes, to manage your monitoring. Yes, this is cloud-based platform, open for all. How you are managing security cloud is not share you critical. Okay, so this is another thing which I want to share is right now we also have AI runtime security. I think Checkpoint have and any other vendor also have because Checkpoint just acquired Lakara. So we have this AI runtime security already. Before this demo, I'm not add this solution into my demo, but after I think after Thursday, Checkpoint already acquired Lakara. So we have Lakara to integrate into this solution. So for any input from the chat to the AI agent, Lakara will check, is this compliance enough? Will this cause some information leak or something? We already have this solution already. Yeah, you are right. This is a good question. So we can also put some AI runtime security in between. Make sure that no information leak. Use the read one security solution is not enough. Okay, so I think the last question which I can see from the Teams window is okay. So I'm not saying one security solution is not enough. I say one particular solution is only to resolve a single thing. And maybe some big vendors, like security vendors, have a platform, but this platform are not able to fit for all the customer. For example, I take an example, if you're using Palo, and you are not satisfied with Palo, maybe they have firewall, but you are not satisfied with their like cloud security, and you want to change to another vendor. How the cloud security can integrate with the firewall together, and maybe you are not satisfied with Palo intelligence. So you want to use some other vendors for intelligence. How the intelligence can integrate with the Palo firewall. This is what we need considering in the CSMA architecture. Okay, intelligence is a single module. Identity is a single module, regardless of how many vendors we have in the backend. The single module is for you. Which vendor you're using in this single module is depending on different customer. Maybe you are use checkpoint and payload in the intelligence module. Another customer may be using record the future and in the threat intelligence module. It's same, no difference. Just regardless of customer requirement and situation. Okay, so these different module are for different customer, are customizable. Then we will not be locked by a single vendor. We can choose. Okay, it all depends on customer itself. Okay, so CSMA improves the detection and response time, I think, from two different angles. First is how to improve the detection. It's in the CSMA architecture, you will have the intelligence information from multiple different vendors, and you can integrate them together. For example, like before CSMA, you have the intelligence maybe from Palo, and you have Palo firewall. Then the Palo intelligence can give a feed to the firewall. Then firewall can block this particular IOC. Okay, this is before the CSMA, but after CSMA, in your intelligence, you still have the Palo intelligence. You also have checkpoint intelligence. You have record the future intelligence. You have rapid saving intelligence, and you have unified feed to share with your Palo firewall. Then you have more information, right? Then it will improve your detection. This is how CSMA to improve the architecture, not with a single vendor, but build an independent module